$618 million just went into XRP in the last 24 hours, nearly half of the total $1.9 billion facilitated in all of Korea in crypto. This is insane, and it marks a historic shift to where we are starting to see mass crypto adoption by globalized banks like JP Chase in the United States of America, which has officially announced that they have started to accept payments in XRP. But this shouldn't be a shock, because we are seeing massive financial institutions in the United States of America really shift towards XRP, including, again, that being JP Morgan and also BlackRock. In fact, in a leaked report posted on October 17th, 2025, that many of you guys probably didn't see because it was hidden, is BlackRock and JP Morgan have been quietly accumulating XRP all along and have been hiding it in their balance sheets. Yes, it turns out these massive giants that have been basically pushing for the XRP ETF and for the Ethereum ETF and the Bitcoin ETF, turns out these guys are actually very bullish on XRP and are even accumulating XRP behind the scenes without actually publicly announcing so. To the point that we have actually got Donald Trump, the United States president, actually sign a bill that is set to unlock trillions of dollars in the US economy and in American cryptocurrencies. And it's all backed by these massive financial giants, these elite financial institutions like BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. This is so big because XRP is the #1 American cryptocurrency, and well, this project, this massive institution that is called RealFi, is actually unlocking 654 trillion on the XRP ledger, all simultaneously. And of course, when we talk about XRP, we got to understand that at that scale, right, we're talking about billions, if not trillions of dollars going into the XRP ledger. It could really cross $2,500. I mean, quite easily we could see a price per XRP at over $2,500. And so before we get into the details, because this is backed by facts and we have actual sources that are about to make it clear for you guys that this will happen, we've actually partnered with Upload to give every single person watching in today's video some free XRP, or in fact up to $100 for you to buy some free XRP with. And with XRP priced at $2.96, you can get yourself a massive bank. And all you have to do is literally like the video, subscribe to the channel with your post notifications, share this video, and most importantly, sign up on Uphold using my link in the description and do a transaction. Now, the whole process takes less than 5 minutes. Again, it's literally free money, so I definitely recommend it. And with that being said, I recommend you tell your friends and family, get yourself that free XRP, and let's get right into the video. Now, everything is important to highlight, the fact that global banks are shifting to the XRP ledger, but this one global bank, this one institution, is literally about to take XRP from $3 to over $3,000, and it is called SWIFT. SWIFT is being replaced. Yes, XRP is being evaluated to replace the entire SWIFT system in the United States of America. A massive $1.25 quadrillion market, which if approved, could skyrocket XRP past $3 almost instantaneously. And while Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple's own CEO, literally emphasized that it will happen and predicted that Bitcoin will reach 200,000, but that XRP's market cap will surpass it substantially in payment adoption. And that means that we will, when I mean XRP, will outprice Bitcoin in potentially weeks. This is the scale that we are talking about. And so I'm going to roll the clip because I think it's very important that you guys listen to it.
Yeah, so what's affecting the price of XRP has been the SEC. People forget, frankly, before the SEC got involved in the crypto markets, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset, ahead of ETH. And then the SEC got involved and said, hey, we think ETH is probably okay, and ETH went up. And then they sued Ripple, and XRP went down. You know, this is not how our government is supposed to work. We're supposed to have a level playing field and have, you know, equal opportunity. We shouldn't have our government picking winners and losers in this regard. We think in the long run we'll prevail, and you know, that'll sort itself out. But for now, it's frustrating for the community, and I like the way you characterize it, for the XRP family.
Do they? It's going to sound really crazy. The XRP will replace meme tokens in the next cycle. And what I mean by that is that's where all the money flowed in, right?
What is your price target for Bitcoin? Because Cardano blockchain founder predicted, as I said earlier, 250,000 by year end.
You know, I will predict Bitcoin. I wouldn't predict XRP. It's too close to home. But I think 200,000 is not unreasonable. I think before I've kind of said, you know, 175 around there. I think people underestimate how the largest economy in the world, the United States, went from headwinds, hostility, to tailwinds. And
what is your price target for
performance of XRP?
how XRP and the performance of XRP compares with Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin today, as was said earlier, Bitcoin in many ways has been a successful experiment, but not when it comes to payments. The throughput of Bitcoin, both in terms of to confirm a transaction, often can take an hour. I think Tavis said earlier, you're not going to use Bitcoin to buy coffee unless you want to wait there an hour for it to confirm the transaction. And then the transaction cost would be pretty high. So your Bitcoin
and so you really have to understand that this unlock is so big for XRP that, again, it would cause it to literally skyrocket to $3,000. And now we have more news that even more money is going to flow, including Donald Trump signing that bill. And most importantly, a massive institution known as RealFi is set to unlock over $650 trillion global real estate market on towards the XRP ledger. And the billions of dollars have already begun entering the XRP ledger. In fact, only a couple of days ago, RealFi announced that they've unlocked over 10,000 plus properties valued at over $2 billion across residential and commercial real estate in 50 plus locations worldwide. Now this is huge because, again, you can literally buy these real estates using the XRP ledger via the Real token, which is built on the XRPL, meaning if you have XRP, you can transfer it to Real token and then buy and transact on the XRP ledger, which is a huge, because again, real world assets now are on the XRPL. And this is only just getting started. I mean, take a look at what they posted just 48 hours ago. It says, over the past months, we've introduced the RealFi payment solution and the RealFi asset marketplace, both entirely built on the XRP ledger and powered by Real token. In just a few days, we will first conclude the phase 1 and begin phase 2 of the RealFi ecosystem, focused on global adoption and integration of our technologies. And with the Real token at the center of the next stage, the future of real estate and payment is accelerating, and RealFi is leading the way. Now, this is huge because it says something big is coming, but you got to understand the scale that we are looking at right now. We are talking about the XRP facilitating basically all of the money. This includes SWIFT and the real estate industry. And Real token is really leading that path. Of course, a couple $100 trillion are going to come from the payment sector, and a couple $100 trillion are probably going to come from RealFi, facilitating the entire real estate system and the global industry onto the XRP ledger. And if you take a look at the Real token, I mean, I'm very bullish on Real token. You guys have probably heard me before, but this is something that really caught my attention. Take a look at this, guys. This is the Real token. It has very, very low resistance, very strong support. I mean, this thing is on point to do a major breakout. Now, we've talked about them before, and guys, they continue to rise in price. You gotta be looking at the Real token. I mean, this thing is going to make generational wealth, in my personal opinion. I mean, it's huge, huge, huge. On top of this, Real token has literally received a 100% Bitcoin score, and look at it on the daily, guys, up 4%. I mean, this is a great chart because we are priming for the biggest breakout we've ever seen. I truly, truly see this. Like, I'm expecting a couple $100 per Real token. I mean, there's a lot of analysts and experts. Don't even take my words, but look at these analysts and experts, which I'll show you guys shortly. But a lot of them are predicting actually that if a Real token facilitates only 1% of the global real estate market that it's projected to actually do, which is $650 trillion, then it would skyrocket to $64,500. That is the scale, guys. Going from 3 cents to $65,000, meaning every 10,000 would make you a multi-millionaire. And this is what we're talking about when you talk about mass scale potential, huge utility, and this is very rare to find, guys. You almost never find a utility-based project that is on the XRP ledger and has all the pros, guys. It's backed by a multi-million / multi-billion-dollar institution, potentially even partner with Ripple. I mean, all of these are at the Real token, and it's very, very early. I mean, not many people know about it, which is why it's not scaling, which is why it's not sitting at, $100, $200, $300, $400 at least. Again, it launched about 2 months ago, and it went from 100th of a penny to 3 cents. So imagine that people made hundreds of thousands of percentages. But now it is going to go into the hundreds and not thousands of dollars, and it's received a 10 out of 10 score, meaning it's very bullish. Top 3 holders are low risk. Bitcoin score is 100%. It's 100% KYC because KYC is verified. Again, 100%. Total wallets are 3,242, guys. Just yesterday we were talking about it, and they were sitting at 3,100. Guys, this is where the money's flowing, and if you're not looking at it and you're not seeing it, the XRP ledger is moving all of that money, and it's moving it a lot quicker than anybody's expected. And we got to thank RealFi for doing that, because RealFi is unlocking $650 trillion. They've already unlocked $2 billion, and I think they're going to be unlocking a lot more. And again, it is a very, very, very bullish. And again, when you take a look at this, guys, the money is here to be made. I mean, generational wealth is going to be created through the XRP ledger. I think that's quite clear. And we are seeing this token, again, Real token, 3 cents, potentially going to $60,000. I mean, it's insane. And I can only imagine, guys, it's going to happen because 2 things. Number one, it's going to have massive demand. Number 2 is The supply for real token is very small. I mean, phase 1 supply was 100 million. They've already burnt 80 million. So there's only 22 million left. 22 million phase 1 supply for real token. That means that any supply shock, if there's just some demand, the supply again will diminish, and literally we'll see a massive supply shock and the price will skyrocket. That is crazy. I gotta say, guys, I'm very, very bullish, and the fact that it's backed by a massive institution that's likely partnered with Ripple just makes things so much more bullish, because again, we know obviously Ripple is backing the institution. Now, obviously, this is what it comes down to. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, it's not a financial advisor who's doing research, but take a look at this, guys. This is the RealFi website, payrealfi.com. This is the institution backing the real token, and these guys are literally allowing you to buy real estate, $1.6 million. Take a look at this one, for example. You can buy this piece of real estate if my page loads. That at 1.6 million with the real token and with XRP, so you can literally do this transaction, and they are facilitating money. Obviously, it's quite clear that you can see that, but this is the institution backing it, so obviously I know this is going to go somewhere. At the end of the day, I also want to emphasize that I'm not a financial advisor, it's not a financial advisor who's doing research, but just something I'm very, very bullish about. And I'll be leaving all links down below in the description, because I definitely think that you guys should do your research on this project. If you want to get in, you can get in, but definitely at least bare minimum, do your research, get in, look into it. Now, guys, with all that being said, I am going to end off. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video as well. But again, the XRP ledger is going to absolutely go crazy. I mean, we're going to see a lot of money flowing into it, and very, very soon, we're going to be facilitating trading as well. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.